I grew up in the north side of Guam. Our schools were all in the village, raised with really good morals and values in life, but it was a fend for yourself kind of thing. We learned how to be very independent. I was that kid that, as long as I didn't get caught, I was doing it, right? I started using marijuana when I was 12 or 13 years old. It got to the point where everything that I did, I had to try to be under the influence of marijuana. The mentality was that we're from an island, we're living here, and, marijuana grows wild around here, right? And I wasn't really sure if that was what was really happening, but, it sounded good at the time, right? My friend Tom, he had a guitar, and then I started trying to ask him to show me how to play it. Then my mom got me a guitar on my birthday, and I used to practice every day. I used to play heavy metal, like rock and roll. Slayer, Pantera, Metallica. Me and my friends from high school, we made a band. I wrote some songs, but a lot of them are about just getting wasted. We stopped after I ended up leaving to the States, to California. That's where my addiction got worse. I was working at a Harley-Davidson shop, hanging out with some guys that I was working with. One of my coworkers had cocaine. I swore I never snort anything up my nose, but I don't know. I was hopped up on some alcohol, and I didn't even think twice about it. I never thought I'd do that. A week later, I got introduced to meth. It was off to the races, man. I remember somebody saying it's the devil. It's gonna suck you in, and that's what it did, man. It took me and everything I had. Music stopped for a long time. The drugs got in the way. I got busted a year later. I was using meth very heavily. I was on probation for about 3.5 years. 2007, driving a car that's not registered, no insurance. My uncle bought it from the auction. We were supposed to drive it across 3 states to get to Houston, Texas. The cops pulled up right behind me and tried to do a U-turn, go back to the house to make it look like I forgot something. I got out of the car and I was trying to walk into the house. The cops told me, stop, do not move, put your hands up. They started searching the car. In my bag in the back seat, they found drugs and all that. They broke it out, put it on the car, got arrested that day and got charged for possession. That was the beginning of life starting to go into treatment. I was in and out of treatment, kept getting terminated from programs because of not complying with what they were telling me to do. It was either jail time or this, right? And I was just like, I'm just gonna do drugs, and that was supposed to be my life. But I ended up getting that light bulb that lit up on top of my head, and I was like, what? All I have to do is just stay off drugs and I won't go to jail. I thought the system was always trying to set me up to get me arrested. I was very hesitant about it, but I had to learn how to trust in that program. It actually got me to get clean. One of my old counselors, he goes, I know you guys from Guam, the Chamorros, you guys like to play music. Maybe you should connect back with your culture, make it part of your treatment plan to get back into the Guam Club in San Diego, right? And we had a recovery day over in downtown San Diego, and my friend, he wrote a song. He was a rapper, and I played guitar and told him I had a guitar, and we played, and we performed. The whole courtyard was filled, and it was just people in recovery, and I was like my first time performing in front of a lot of people in a long time. I was so nervous because I wasn't hopped up on drugs or anything. It took me a while to get used to playing, but today, put me up there. I'll do it. Later on, I started writing more music. Now that I was in recovery, I was just writing stories of my journey in recovery. And I produced it and put it on the CD, and I ended up coming back to Guam, and I thought I would never come back to Guam. I feel like I have purpose today, and I know God's will for me is to do what I'm doing today. Judge gives me This year will be 9 years with the Salvation Army. I have individual sessions with my clients throughout the week. I do group counseling. It's very fulfilling. I'm actually working on my master's degree now in social work. Can't believe I'm doing what I'm doing today, especially where I came from. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it, you know?
If this video impacted you, like it and share it. We are always posting content, so don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for helping us share change.